What started off as a normal Saturday morning ended up being, honestly, a mother's worst nightmare. We packed up the boys, put them in the car and headed down the coast to our favourite zoo. I turned around to check on Malakai and noticed he was blue, unresponsive and appeared not to be breathing. I grabbed him out of his car seat, I tried to stimulate him, pat him on the back and nothing would work. I ended up performing CPR and we called the ambulance.
Look how good your tummy time is.
Until I hold tight on.
Good job.
We'll just head down, carry on, 'cause what else can we do but get through? And we'll sing hallelujah, but what is that to you right now?
I don't even know how to start today's video. So we actually got home from hospital last night at we ended up getting home at 10 p.m. just because it was far away. I think it was last week's vlog and even the vlog before that, I said I was super excited to make a video about my health and fitness because I'm currently 11 weeks postpartum. Prior to this week, I have been on a roll. I've been enjoying cooking from home, just eating really wholesome, healthy foods and working out. Every day I was working out differently and I was just you know when you're in that really good momentum of eating healthy, training and just you have a good mindset? That was me. And I was gonna make a vlog about it of postpartum health and fitness. But life happens. I didn't really decide to vlog this. I actually started filming and recording this 2 days into this saga. I don't ever want to be that channel that's pre-planned and it's just this highlight reel and you guys just see me being healthy and fit and all that kind of stuff. Many of you guys know Malakai has been in hospital twice before and I didn't vlog those. I mentioned them in vlogs, but I didn't necessarily vlog those experiences. But the reason I decided to film halfway through this experience and upload this video is to help anyone else whose baby goes through this. Just because when I opened up on Instagram about it, so many people were in my DMs saying that they had a similar experience and just even reading people's stories really helped me. Also, just for my own mental health, I feel we have been in hospital so much together in the last 10 weeks. Like I said, he's been in 3 times for a week each time. Just filming it and talking to you guys, talking to my phone, it's all filmed on my phone. It just made me feel connected, not so alone. Basically, Malakai woke up on Saturday morning with a little bit of a sniffly nose, nothing major, he's had RSV before, which was so bad. And he is such a happy baby. He really hardly ever cries. He's super happy and super chill. And that morning he was a little bit grizzly, which is unlike him. So I figured, oh, he's probably just a little bit run down, has a bit of a cold. I didn't really think anything of it. So we were all getting ready. We were going to go down to the zoo with Fox. We had been promising him we were going to the zoo for weeks now. So we packed everyone up in the car. I put Malakai in his car seat and I had that gut feeling of I should probably sit in the back and just be with them. But I don't know, I just poo-pooed myself. I sat in the front and off we went to the zoo. About 2 minutes into the drive, I turn around to check if Malakai was okay and Fox as well, but mostly Malakai. And I turn around and Malakai is completely blue. And so many of you guys know when he was born, he had 4 blue episodes where he just stops breathing kind of thing. Well, he just loses oxygen. And when he was a newborn, that was a pale blue. This time it was in the car, he was a dark bluish red and his eyes were just staring glazed over. So we were driving and I just threw my coffee, I opened my seatbelt and jumped in the back and Kurt was like, what are you doing? What's happening? And I think I just muttered, Malakai's blue, Malakai's blue. And I got him out of his car seat and he was just unresponsive. He was really limp in the body, but just staring through me, had no consciousness to his face, if that makes sense. I tried to obviously remember what we did in like our newborn. We did the Tiny Hearts course, which is like a CPR children's course. Undo his onesie and just stimulate him and get him to respond. I was kind of wiggling his belly. I put him over, checked if anything was in his mouth. I was tapping his back to see if he would cough up anything, or I don't know, it would stimulate him enough to kind of wake up. And nothing worked. He was just completely limp, blue, unresponsive. So I ended up giving him 2 breaths, like CPR breaths. Going back now, I know I actually kind of did it wrong, but it ended up working. So I pinched his nose and I gave him 2 breaths, and he kind of startled and his color started to come back. So by that time we had called the ambulance. We had pulled over to like a petrol station, and the ambulance was there within like not even 5 minutes. So during this whole time he was unresponsive. He never cried. He never made any, he was kind of making a sound when I jumped in the back. He was kind of going, but not, like, didn't change his facial expression. Once we got to the hospital, he like started smiling again, like he had no idea what had happened. Basically that night he had 2 more of those episodes. So I was trying to sleep and he was in his bassinet, and he had like a little probe on his foot that measures his oxygen and his heart rate. I thought he was asleep, or maybe he was asleep, and the probe starts going off, the alarm starts going off, and I look up and his oxygen is at 35 and it really should be at 100. And I peer over into the bassinet, and again he's completely blue, not moving. I tried to quickly look at his chest before picking him up and it didn't look like he was breathing, but I wasn't just gonna stare at him and, you know, watch. So I picked him up, I called the emergency buzzer, the nurses came running in, and luckily I didn't have to give him any breaths or anything. The stimulation worked and he kind of started breathing again. And then that happened again 2 hours later. At that first hospital, which is like our local hospital, they did a brain ultrasound, they did an ECG, they did some other observations. I talked, if you've been to hospital, you know, you tell your story to like 9 different nurses, 3 different paediatricians, 3 different specialists, and they made the decision to try to transfer us to the children's hospital. Welcome to our morning routine. I just washed my face, brushed my teeth, got in the same clothes I was in yesterday. Malakai's in the same clothes he was in yesterday, and we are off to get coffee. So we have detached him from his monitor, so I just have to visually monitor him, make sure we're not going blue. Today is our last day in the green room. This is, not gonna lie, this room brings back a little bit of trauma for me, because this has been the room we've been in like every time he's been sick. Yeah, like the nurses know us here, so it wasn't a joke, but they were like, do you want to go in your old room, like your original room? I'm like, yeah, of course. So even just like the color green, it's like, it's not a very happy color. Half excited to be out of this room, but we kind of like being at this hospital because it's 7 minutes from home. So I just like can duck home, have a shower when Kurt watches him. I can pack my stuff, like I can just pack more clothes. And it's just nice knowing we're so close to home. But we are heading kind of into the city, into the children's hospital, because he can just get better care there and like have the facilities and equipment he needs. But that's happening later today. For now, Mummy needs an oat milk flat white large.
And that'll sustain me for now.
This is honestly the best part of my day. Just being in this like sunny area. It's invigorating. And also getting my coffee, that's invigorating on a whole nother level. It's driving me insane. I've been trying for an hour to get him to sleep. And like, he just doesn't nap in hospital. And as soon as I get him to sleep, like the buzzer goes off, or like, I get him to sleep, and as soon as I put him down, he just like wakes up and starts crying again. Like rough, it's like, it sounds dumb, but like if you've experienced it, you know, like rocking a baby to sleep for like over an hour, it's just draining and like defeating when you finally get them to sleep. You put them down and they just wake up again. Or I just want to go home, you know? Like just the little things, like I'm just struggling. I just feel like I've like done most of his newborn life in this room, you know, not at home with curtain fox and being like confined. Just being confined to this room and like having a baby that won't go to sleep. And like and then even once you get them to sleep, you just have to sit in the dark for 2 hours, you know? Like it's just like everything piles up. Like you're already anxious that your baby's sick. And I'm watching the monitor waiting to see if he's gonna go blue again. Like if you're a mum, you know, like if you feel overwhelmed and your baby's just screaming and not going to sleep, you can put them down for a little bit, step outside, take some deep breaths and go back in and try again. But like in here, you can't really do that. Like especially with the hospital rules, like you kind of have to be in your room. We just can't catch a break, you know? Like this is our 3rd time here in 10 weeks in the same room, basically going through the same thing. That's the dinging thing. My room is right outside that, so all night that, yes, I'm complaining. Like honestly, if you want to come at me for complaining, then fine, but like I'm mentally so exhausted, you know? I'm struggling, you know? And then like just that buzz is making me go insane. Really sorry if you can just like hear the blasting white noise. I just had to sit here and like crank this window open a little bit because I just was texting my mom. I'm like, Mom, I feel like I'm going insane. I don't know, like I'm normally a really positive, optimistic person, and today I'm just like, you know, you have those days where you just like feel hard done by and you're like, what is happening? I'm having one of those days today. Now, never vlog those kind of days. I haven't vlogged any of our hospital trips. This is such a big part of my life at the moment. Like this has been such a predominant part of our life for 10 weeks that I'm like, my YouTube channel is a depiction and a reflection and like a journal of my life, and I'm like, this is real life. Like basically living in this hospital. Malakai is just asleep on there, and I'm hoping this light like doesn't stimulate him or wake him up, but I'm like sitting in the dark was just driving me insane. As you can tell, I've been having a bit of a cry. My sister is actually going to Europe today for 8 weeks, so she's actually going to come to the ward. Hopefully she's allowed up. Like I don't know the COVID rules with visitors, but hopefully she's allowed up. I can give her a cuddle goodbye. She can say goodbye to Malakai.
Saying bye to Talia for 2 months.
Oh, he loves that. He's so calm in your arms. Malakai.
Yeah, the boys.
October. Say yeah, the mummy.
Yeah, the
So far out of reach, I'm not broken, but who else could I be in a time like this? I'm lost out at
That was a good
sea.
one. Have you had good sleeps while you've been at the hospital? Yeah.
But who else could I be?
Hairs grows from the ultrasound.
Yeah.
Don't get too big. It's gonna be massive by the time you see it. Don't get too big. But get healthier, please. I hope so, but will you come visit me at the other hospital? Love you.
Give mummy a big kiss and cuddle because you're not going to see her.
Love you so
And
much.
it never was for me.
I'm cute. You're cute.
If I'm not yours,
You're a silly duckling.
who else could I be? You're moving on, and I'm drowning in memory. But who else could I be?
As soon as we arrived at the children's hospital, my heart just broke for honestly everyone. The staff, the children, the mothers, the parents, the caregivers. The nurses told me that this hospital had a blackout, which basically means they are just overflowing with patients. With everything going on at the moment, specifically the flu, there just wasn't enough room and isn't enough room for everyone who needs care. Okay, it's like 5:30 house. So because he does have rhinovirus, we do get our own room. So I sleep in this chair. Surprisingly, we don't have a bassinet for him, which is fine, but he's sleeping in like, let me flip you around. He's sleeping in like this big bed type thing. It's like a fish bowl, so we can be seen at all times. Yeah, today was literally just waiting. Like we just waited in our room for like 5 hours. And then got the ambulance here, and now I just have to chill here till tomorrow. He won't sleep not on me. Like I think he just knows something's up, you know, like he won't sleep in that. As soon as I put him down, he just wakes up. So he's just on my boob the whole time and like whatever, I have nothing else to do anyway. Welcome to the Serenity room. I don't know if you can hear the music, but I'm just trying to stimulate Malakai in any way I can. I'm looking fabulous. Wow. I'm feeling so grateful that I'm not grateful that he's sick, but because he does have rhinovirus, I think I said this yesterday, we have our own room. This is Malakai's little play area. So they have like a child psychologist. She brought this little octopus, brought him this little mobile, which he's loving. And then I'm just playing him like this spa music on his yoga sleep, which is like his white noise machine. So this morning, I have a lot to update you guys on. I didn't vlog it because like inappropriate, but he did his full echo, basically like a heart ultrasound, and that came back clear, which is good. I've talked to so many different like pediatricians, doctors and nurses here. I'm feeling really heard, and like I really like this hospital. I like both hospitals, but I just feel like they're really thorough here and they truly listen to you. Like every doctor has come in and said, tell me the whole story, like tell me everything, and they just listen really intently. Yeah, I just feel really safe here. Yeah, I didn't sleep at all last night because obviously this is like a children's hospital. They have to keep an eye on the kids. They kind of keep the lights on, so if Malakai would like wake up a little bit, he wouldn't go back to sleep because he'd wake up and think it's daytime. Kurt just keeps saying to me, this is just like a blip on the radar. I'll just be tired for a week. It's okay. I'd rather Malakai be healthy, but we haven't had any more blue episodes. He seems really happy. Yeah, later today, I think we're meeting with the ENT team, which is ear, nose and throat, maybe the neurologist team, and maybe the feed team. Like they're just gonna make sure he's feeding okay. I think Kurt is gonna come and visit us, which will be so nice, just because I've just been kind of alone for like 4 days or something now. Yeah, I'm just feeling super grateful to live in Australia. Like I can't imagine living in like America or wherever else this happens where you don't have Medicare. Like all of this care pretty much is for free, which is just insane. Kurt is calling me. I'll talk to you in a second.
October, it seems so far out of reach. I'm not broken, but who else could I be in a time like this? I'm lost out at sea, but who else could I be? It's not over, and it never was for me. If I'm not yours, then who else could I be? You're moving on, and I'm drowning in.
If there's one way I know how to lift my spirits, it's snacks and lollies, specifically lollies. And I have been wanting to buy these for so long, and this is going to be my diet of the next week. Because Kurt's here, I got to like run out for like half an hour, and I got like this chicken salad thing that I'm gonna have for dinner. And then I bought way too many snacks. Like I'm not gonna get, well, I hope I don't get through these in the hospital stay, because number one, that will mean that if I get through all these, it means we're in hospital for a really long time. And number two, all I've done is eaten. First and most importantly are these Lifesaver green apple sherbet fizz sticks. Insane. I just made Kurt try it before. You have to try one of these. I ended up getting them.
Hello.
My ultimate lolly.
Ew.
What?
Yeah, that's cheddar.
Oh my gosh, green apple with sherbet
Yeah, nah,
fizz.
that's-
It smells, if you love green apple,
Yeah, nah. Apple flavoured lollies?
this is my new favourite lolly. It's better than Skittles. It's better than Snakes. It's better than M&M's.
You're off your head.
You are. I tried to be somewhat healthy, but like balance it out with some lollies. Cauliflower turmeric flats, edamame, I don't know, a vegan rice crackle chocolate, chocolate chickpea raspberry things. I went hard.
You did go hard.
Salted caramel protein balls, fruity stackers.
Oh, can we try one of them?
Yeah, really boring. I got a bunch of fruit, bananas,
You
oranges,
need that for sanity.
raspberries, apples, a cranberry coconut slice for my dessert.
These are a fun part.
Gummies.
Party mixes.
Orange and yellow's bubble gum. No, it's not. Why would you do orange and yellow for bubble gum? That would be pink.
I'll have to leave in like 10 minutes or so. But I got to have the fun part.
When he's awake.
Yeah, got to play with him. I mean, it's the first time I got to play with him in ages.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. I would say I've been awake since 6, but I haven't really been asleep. Last night was probably one of our last worst. Whoa, I can't even speak. Last night was one of our worst nights. Malakai just kept waking up every single hour and then wanting to comfort feed, so then he would throw up because he was so full, and we'd have to change his sheets, and it was bright, and oh my gosh. I didn't try to go back to sleep after like 5 a.m, so it's 8 now. It took me a while to get him to sleep because it's so bright in the room. But honestly, I had such mum guilt yesterday for going out and getting a coffee, and today I'm like, nah, he's asleep, I'm out. I need to get a coffee. I'm like going insane. Smashed avocado. Yeah, we're just awaiting the neurologist and the ENT.
Not over. And it never was for me. If I'm not yours, then who else could I be? You're moving on, and I'm drowning in.
You're wearing your lovely beanie that one of the volunteers knitted you. And we're waiting for your daddy and your brother to come pick us up. We are so excited. We've been waiting all day. And it is 6:30. Are you excited? Me too.
I tell myself that I'm not.
I'm excited to go home too.
I tell myself that I'm no fool. I don't wanna be blue, I don't wanna be lonely.
I miss you.
Who am I kidding?
I haven't seen you in so long.
I'm all of these
Woke up in the
things.
car.
Honey, I miss you. This is where I've been living.
What's it like outside, Fox? Is it cold outside? Hey, darling. Hey, buddy.
After October,
Coming home. Look at
Look at me. You guys look exactly the same. It's insane.
this is where I was sleeping on that.
after it's over.
We did lots of different things, and thankfully they all came back clear. Honestly, it's not anticlimactic. It's good that it's anticlimactic and nothing like structural or, you know, sinister with his heart or brain. But at the end of the day, they think it's just because he has rhinovirus, which is just a cold, that potentially mucus just hit the wrong spot of like the back of his throat or something, and it kind of closed and he stopped breathing, which is hard because now I'm kind of on edge and stressed that he's just going to do it again and like go blue. But I did end up getting the owlet sock, which we slept with last night. Constantly checks his oxygen. I never thought that I would need one of those, but it has really given me a lot of peace of mind, especially now you know, when I close my eyes, that's all I can see is just him in the car, blue. Before I left the hospital, I did do an updated course with, there's like this one nurse, I don't know anyone's name, like this one nurse who goes around and teaches CPR again and like refreshes your memory. And I got to practice the proper breaths. The proper way to do it, as I'm recording this, it changes all the time. It's to put your mouth over their nose and their mouth and not pinch their nose. So that's what I did wrong, but it still worked. Even during the hospital stay, like he was so happy. He was like pretty much totally himself. It just happens all of a sudden, but I'm just so grateful to have him home and have him safe. I hope this can help some other mums out there, and if you're having a baby, if you have a baby, I highly recommend you do some kind of CPR course or training and just like brush up on your skills regularly. I think every mum thinks I'm never gonna have to do this, and that's what I thought. Until Saturday. I don't want to say I hope you enjoyed this video, but that was this week's vlog. Let's hope next week's is better. We love you. I'm gonna go put you to bed. Bye.